Authors Tell All, a podcast by Shy Soul. She's bringing you author interviews, book discussions, and more. Stay tuned.
Created by Xanax.
Hi everyone, we are live with author Tyra Racquel. She'll be discussing her books, telling us about how long she's been in this industry and how she feels overall about being an author. Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, I am doing okay. Just a little sickly, but I'm good.
You sure you good? Just gotta check.
Yes, I'm good. You know, just stocked up on my medicine. Things got changed, so I'm good.
Okay, so since you are not feeling really too well, have you been writing? Have you been using that time to write any chapters, anything like that?
Okay, so about that, lately I've been working 2 jobs, so I don't really get a break for real. I work 8:30 to 6 during the week, and then on the weekends it ranges from like 6 in the morning to like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. So writing is but when I do have an idea, I do write it down, write character names. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna write this story. I don't know when, but I'm gonna write it.
Exactly, that's how I be too. I am the same, really busy with my own business, plus school and trying to write. So, I have to factor all that in. So I just won't be doing one thing and just leaving everything off half-ass. So, for your books, what's the best book you've written so far?
The best book that I can say that I've written, it was actually I came out with a book early this year, but just since recently, since I just became an independent author,
really?
I was given the rights back next year. I was given the rights back to that book, so I'm gonna re-release that book. I already have like a new title for it, a new cover, but I'm just gonna redo that book as a whole. But that was like the best book that I ever written, ever. Because like my first book, it was just like I didn't really know what I was doing. I just knew that I was telling a story. Like I felt like with my first book, which is my baby, I could have had more character development, more details. But the last book that I wrote was the best.
And what's the title of that book, so they can go go cop that?
Well, my first book is called That Girl, The Beginning of a Trail, and it is a 2-book series. I might come back with a 3rd book because, if you just got that creativity, you just come back and add on to a story that you finished.
True. Very true.
So I might make it a 3-book series. I don't know yet. I don't know how I'm feeling about that.
And what made you want to become an independent author? I want to know about that.
Okay, so with that, when I first became signed, it was 2016. I was at summer school when I was in undergrad. And I first started writing on Wattpad.
Ooh, me too, yes.
Everybody started from Wattpad. And I used to love reading the stories on there. So I started from there, and then one day on Facebook, I just ran across an ad, and then I just went for it. I got denied the first time, but then they reached back out, and they was like, no, like, we see the potential in you. We want to sign you. Okay, I got signed. That didn't work out. And I became an independent author then. So my 2nd book and my 3rd book, I released those myself. And then last year, 2017, that's when I ran across the last publishing company that I was with, and I had a good one with them. But I don't know, I just felt like by myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I'm on a
sense.
different path. Like, everybody is on the path of becoming best-selling author. And that is one of my goals, but I have a bigger goal than just being on the charts on Amazon. I have a way bigger goal.
Yeah, me too. So tell me and us about that goal.
So, I can't give away too much. So I'm just going to give you a little something. So basically, I'm going to make this page, and it's going to be dedicated to authors, to get all authors out there. Because I'm not selfish. I can be selfish, but for other things. But for this, I really feel like Black writers need more exposure. So hopefully with this project, it'll get more exposure. And then possibly in the future, I will be opening up a building that has something to do with books.
Ooh, that's nice. I already like it already. I really do, because they need to come out with something that us urban writers can, go down, chill at, get books, get some nice food or whatever, be able to write in a nice environment. That's something that I would definitely, like, if I could invest in it too, I would definitely invest in that. So that's a great idea. That's a great venture that, that you're going to be working with. That's something that a few authors should dabble in, but I guess they really don't recognize that yet. Like, do we have just an all African American bookstore?
I have
really
to
think so.
Begin to do the research for that, but I like to go into Walmart and Target. I haven't really been to Barnes and Noble and stuff like that, but I see that our section is getting smaller and smaller. And I'm just like, why are the books there? Because I remember being younger, and my mom would take me into Walmart, and we'd be in the book section, and she'll be deciding on what books to get. And now I just go in there, I'm just like, what is this?
Right.
It don't even have part 1 through 3, but it got part 4 up here.
Exactly. That's very true. I'm the same. Like, I just went to the grocery store today, and every time I go straight to the book section. And every time I go, it's a small little section of urban books. Walgreens. I really don't see any urban books at Walgreens. The dollar store, I may see like 1 or 2. Jewel, it's a little slim. But Barnes and Noble, I went there and I ordered me, my intentions was to go order me, an urban book. I wanted to read something and like kind of like study up on like some really popular authors. That didn't go out too well. Why? Because I couldn't even find our section. Like, ours has a first and second floor. I could not find one lick of urban fiction. That doesn't make any sense at all, right? So I asked the directory person, and I said, I'm looking for urban fiction, African American fiction. Where are those books? He says, oh, it's in the cultural section. In my head, I said, huh? Cultural section? I've never heard of the cultural section for urban African American fiction. So I walk over there. I don't see no type of The Coldest Winter Ever, Jerome Dickey, nothing. I saw nothing. I'm like, what is this? Like, do they have it mixed up in the, the regular fiction? I even went over there and didn't see any of that. I'm like, okay, kind of makes me want to, like, go on their message board. Like, I went in the store today and looked for some books and couldn't find any. That's sad. Very sad.
Very sad.
And
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and that honestly made me not even want to go back to that Barnes & Noble. And the book that I left with was a teen fiction. I left with Beautiful Creatures Part 2. Don't get me wrong, I love those books, but I wanted to leave with me, and I want to spend my money on a urban novel. It didn't pan out that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my cousin was with me, and she got her Milk and Honey. Because I was trying to get her. I was like, you know what? You should get this book. She was like, I'm down to read it. Because I, of course, I forced her to get my books. Love you, cuz. But, she was like, I don't see those books either. So she's like, I'm just going to give me a poetry book. I was like, wow, I can't even get my little cousin into these type of books because you can't find them. That's messed up.
Even if you do go and buy them, like, off the internet, they are so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God. $20? What? $20. Hold on. How many
Right.
pages does it have? How long is this? How thick is this book? I need to know how thick this book is for me to be paying $20 for a book.
Right. Like, is this like a Harry Potter? Is that how thick it is for it to be 20?
Right.
Right. So I kind of felt like inside, I kind of felt like, how do I even really want to give up my money? And I'm not really getting what I came here for. But I'm a book reader. Like, I love reading. So I'm just not going to just read one genre. I read a lot of genres, but of course I'm a urban fiction writer, so I want those books too.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Like, my mom, she won't even let me read her collection of urban novels. I'm like, really, Mom? And she got all of them. She got Coldest Winter Ever, True to the Game, all parts. She got some other good books too that I hadn't even touched yet. I'm like, Mom, you're not gonna let me read them? She's like, nope. Either you can rent them or pay me for them. I was like, that's wrong. That's wrong. She was like, that's my collection. I'm like, okay, well, you're going to have a big collection of my books. I hope you know that. You're going to have to pay for them. You get no freebies either, miss.
Like my mom, she keeps telling me, she's like, I'm like, okay, she comes and she has like a new book to read, so she gets them from Dollar Tree.
Yep, my mom does too.
It's not even no urban fiction book. It's just like a regular old book. I was just like, oh, so you read that book, but you didn't buy mine. She said, all you got to do is get my card and do it. I don't do the online stuff. Okay, I got you. Okay?
Right.
I remember that. And then she also has a big collection of books, and she swears that she's not going to, like, give it to me. But I know she is because she doesn't even touch the book.
Right.
At all.
So
I can't wait.
So how did your family feel when you was like, well, I'm going to be an author? Like, did they already know? Was it a surprise? Like, for my family, it was a surprise for them because they thought I was going to be just an artist. So, was it a surprise for them? Were they, like, shocked? What was their reaction?
They weren't as shocked because ever since I was younger, I loved reading. Like, I was doing the accelerated reading in school, and I would, like, get the high scores and do stuff like that. So, when I became an author, they were just like, so what books are you going to be writing? And I was like, urban fiction. And they were like, oh, okay. So then when they read my first book, and they were like, okay, this book's getting pretty good. And they flip a couple of pages down, and they just like, oh, whoa, wait, hold on. That you write nasty books now? And I'm just like, no, I mean, it's just a little sex scene. It's nothing. But, like, when I came out with my book called Nasty Girls Do It Better, they now dropped to the floor.
Now,
the crazy thing about it is that my dad gave me this title.
really?
Yes.
That's surprising. That really is. That's shocking. That's...
Because I was out ideas. I was like, how does this sound? He was like, what about Nasty Girls Do It Better? And I was like, I'm going to use that.
I would have been dying. I'd have been, like, flushed in the face. I'd have been like, I'll write it down, and then in secret, I'm going to use this. But I don't want him to know that, because my dad, if he would have said that, knowing him, he would have been joking. You know, but he kind of knew I was going to be a writer. He knew I was going to be something great. But they really didn't know I was going to be a writer, because I loved writing. I just didn't, like, show it. You know, it was like my little secret. You know, I just, like, it was like an escape. So I just love to just dabble in little poems and stuff like that. Now, when I got freshman year, and freshman into sophomore year, there we go, is when I started writing. So, like, you started on Wattpad, I did too. Hey, you never know, I might have read some of your books. Like, when I be seeing certain names on Facebook, I'm like, okay, they sound familiar. Maybe I did read some of their stuff on Wattpad, because that's where I started at, was first being a reader. You know, I just didn't see anybody's books, and was like, oh, I can write better, let me publish my book. No, I was kind of preparing myself. You know, I didn't even have a draft in Wattpad yet. I was writing all my stuff down in my notebooks, and I still have the notebook to today with my first book written, and then I typed it all up.
Oh, I was just like, okay, well, they got parts in their story, so let me just post parts. So I would sit there, have my phone, and I would just write the chapter, and I would post it. So that's what I was doing. I was like, okay, I'm going to try to do this every day, or come back and do it. I actually started a story on there, but I haven't been back in a while to finish it. They probably like, what's going on?
Yeah, me too. But what I did was I actually finished all my stories and then took it down and was like, well, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and then find a publisher or whatever. But I still have like my first book, well, not my first book, but my second book on there. That's still popular. You know, this was like a month and a half ago, I checked, and the book was #1. I said, hold up, this book from 2015, and they still love it? Well, let me go back and edit it some, so it don't seem like I don't know how to write, because I swear, if you was like me, I did not edit none of those chapters. I just wrote it, published it, let that be that. Every chapter, like, so many errors, grammatical errors. I was like, ooh, this is cringy. Lord, let me go reread this now and edit it. Like, that was my day-to-day. If that was, like you said, I would just post a chapter, go on about doing something else, then post another chapter, like, in 2 weeks. Mine was, like, every Friday. I had, like, a designating writing day. Every Friday, I had me a chapter done after school, publish it, boom. Then I'll be done with my book within like 5 months. Like, I took time with my books, and I'm still like that, because are you the type where you can write a book in a week, a month, or a few months, or even a year? Which one are you?
I'm gonna say, hell no. You said a week?
It's authors that can write a book within a week. Believe me, I've spoken to them already. I'm like, I applaud you for that, because I can't do it. I can't.
It'll take me some months.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe to a year, because I'm not a full-time author. Now, it would probably be different if I was a full-time author, but since I'm not, it's going to take me a couple of months. And I'm still trying to get my time, like, how I'm going to manage my time. Still trying to get that together. So, yeah, I'm definitely the one that either takes a couple of months or a year. And when I do that, it's not going to be trash. Like, I edit my own book.
Oh, really?
My first and second book? Yes, I edit my first and second book. And, because, people are super petty. Not even petty, but, like, you do need your books to be edited. Like, if it's published work and you're going to start, make it prints and stuff like that, your work does need to be proofread. And a lot of people don't read over a book, like, they sit back there and edit and stuff like that, but they just want it to, like, be here and posted on Kindle and Amazon, so they don't read it, and then that's why they get less bad reviews about the spelling and the double words, and especially, it's like, the first word in the sentence on the first page is wrong, and I'm just like, you couldn't have read your edit. So, I think that's, like, a really important thing. Like, your story does matter, but your edits matter too, a lot.
Of course.
So, yeah.
My publisher, she got on me for that. Like, for my first book, she was like, I know you're very nervous. Like, I was like about to shit bricks. That's how like nervous I was for my first release. And I was so nervous that I was psyching myself out about it. I was like, they're not gonna like it. What am I writing? What is this story gonna go? You know, I was just like saying all the bad things in my head was making me so nervous that I didn't want to write the book. So I had to call her and everything and boo-hoo to her. And she was like, listen, I read the book. She's like, I read the entire book. The story is hot. The story is good. You just need to read over all your work. Just read over. Just take that time to read over all your work. Just take in the edits that they gave you. Because I told her, I said, just tell the proofreaders or whatever just to give me their honest criticism. I don't care if they are bashing the book to the beginning, middle, and end. I need to see that so I can just go in and correct all that. So it will be, not every book can't be flawless, but a little bit it can. You know, so I wanted to just be just a little bit there. So I just said, just let them just go in on the book. They did. I said, okay. I didn't cry about it. I was like, I prepared myself for this. Let me go in my room, lock myself away for a few hours, and just go in and figure this out. Once I did that, I was like, okay, I'm feeling the book. I changed the storyline up a little bit better. And I was like, okay, this story is so good. I was like, I'm so ready to write part 2. I'm just so into this. That's how I kind of got over that. Now, this next book I'm writing, I'm excited about it. I didn't even psych myself out. I didn't do any of that. I'm just happy about writing it. Now, when you write your books, what is your process? My process is weird. I have a weird process.
Well, first and foremost, I'm the type of author, I want to have a title first.
Me too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely want to have a title because I don't know. I just can't be like, okay, let me write a story and then figure out a title. Because the only reason why I want a title first is what is the title that I'm thinking about? I go on Amazon and it's already on there. So now I gotta sit there and spend some more time trying to figure out a title. And then after the title, I do the synopsis. Because it's a lot of authors that do their synopsis last.
Oh, I do mine first.
I already have it thought out, like how I want my story to go, like who's gonna die, who's gonna get pregnant, who's gonna have sex with who, whatever. So I already have that in my head, written down, whatever. So I write my synopsis, and then I start writing. I can write the beginning of the story, and I can write the end of the story, and then write the middle. But I always start with the beginning first. That's my process. It's easy.
Now me, oh my goodness. I write my synopsis first because to me writing a description for your book is so fun because I can really psych out the readers. Like, you think it's going to go this way, but it's not. I give them that suspense.
It's really going to go this way.
Right. I give them that suspense in the synopsis. Like when they read it, like, ooh, what's going to happen? That's what I like to give them. Then I probably already did come up with my title. Probably didn't. I always do one first, or it's either the description or the title. And then I started writing my book. What I write first is I end up writing the ending first. I don't know why, but I always know how my book is going to end. If I don't know how my book is going to end, of course I'm going to know how it's going to start. Or I even start from the middle and go from chapter to chapter. And then I'll be done with the book. And you know, with me, it's weird. I can get 10K done within like 2 hours.
Especially if you're like focused.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good little bit to type up.
Yeah, that and oof, I always say this on my podcast because I really do want some authors, like if they are kind of like me when they like write. I know a lot of authors, they take down some notes. Some of them might not, some of them might do take down notes, or I already know a lot of authors outline their books, but I don't outline my book. I've never outlined my book. Like, I did that in high school. I was like, I hate it. I hate outlining my book. I'm a very messy note taker. What I mean by that is, it's like, my notes is like a map. If anybody else who's not an author reads my notes, they'd be like, what is this? This is a bunch of chicken scratch. No, it's not. You're not paying attention to it. Let's say Lakeisha. Let's say Lakeisha is about to go to her man's house. I would have Lakeisha meeting Latrell, and then Lakeisha finna have a fight with Don Quisha. That's how I end up doing it. Sorry, excuse me for these funny names, but y'all know how I am. But I will do it just like that. It's like a huge map. If you don't know how to read a map, you're not gonna know how to read my notes, and that's how I write my book. It's a weird process.
I write my book too, because I'll be like, Dante is gonna kill Gina in this chapter, and then as I'm writing, I'm just like, I need this to happen before he kills her. I need this to happen after he kills her, like something like that. I'm never like, he's gonna get into the car at this, and he's gonna be wearing this, and no, that's just that's too much.
Right, like.
You write all this down, you could be typing.
Right. Do you put a lot of detailing into your characters and your chapters?
Yes, I try to, especially with the way they look, because I know when I'm reading, I like to visualize, and I like to, like, okay, maybe Tina looks like this. In my head, so I'm going to be like, okay, she has small, almond-shaped eyes with a pointy nose and small lips, a medium size. Well, I probably won't do the head, but long, curly hair, chocolate skin. She's slim, thick. Like, I go into that much detail. So I try to. Especially I haven't did it yet, because I think I killed a lot of people in my books. So they never get to like the really happy endings, like weddings and stuff like that. But I know whenever I do write a wedding scene, it will be very detailed, because I love weddings.
Now, the first time I ever wrote a wedding scene, I was like, what? I don't know what I'm talking about, because I've never been to a wedding. Right, I've never been to a wedding. The only time I've seen weddings is in a movie or on TV, reality TV show. So I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to read up on like a wedding article or watch little stuff on HD TV. Little stuff like that is what I did to get a little knowledge on it. And I was like, okay, now I can write this scene. I was like, now, let me think of like some music to like inspire me. That's what I do. When I write, I listen to music. So I said, I listened to Kim. Once I listened to Kim, I had that whole wedding scene down packed, 9K. I was like, boom, done. I love it, right? My readers, this was on Wattpad. That's when I wrote my first wedding scene on there. When they read it, they was like, I cried. Oh my God, it felt like I was there. I was like, that's what I wanted you to do. I wanted that emotion, right? I'm a very emotional writer. So like, if it's a scene where like somebody gets killed or anything like that, or like it was a murder that the wrong person died, and they weren't supposed to die, it was like so emotional, like I killed off somebody's favorite character or something like that. I want my reader to feel that. I really want them to feel it. Like with my book, one of my friends, she read it and she commented on my post. She was like, you're an asshole for this. I can't believe you did that. I was like, I'm sorry, right? I was like, whoops. Yeah, and that was just the start of my main character's journey. You had to feel how broken she was to lose somebody she loved the most. So, what's... For sure, like I said this last night when I was doing my other podcast, I say I kind of study up on the people that I interview. We do this, and first of all, I already read up on some of your books, and I love them. Like, if a book can draw me in like that, oh, for sure, I'm gonna contact you and be like, listen, sis, we gotta talk about this. Like, why'd you do this? Like I said, I'm a true reader. I really am, and your books are really good. I did not know that you were pushing your own books, and that just makes it even better. It really do. It makes it even better because you're putting all of your hard work into this. Like, from getting your cover done, doing self-editing, everything like that. You're pushing your own work, and I love that. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the publishers and everything, but for someone to do it themselves, and to market themselves, that's great. I approve. Like, full on Shy stamp approval. I love it.
It takes so much. Jesus, I was like, oh, I was asking my friends. I was like, I don't know if I should do this. Like, I've been talking about it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love the last publisher company I was with. Like, I still talk to some of them too, because they just, we're still pen sisters at the end of the day. I'm just not, with them anymore. And I was just like, I just feel like just going on this different path. Like, I just know, I feel it. I've been having dreams and everything that I need to go on this different path. So here I am.
Okay, so let's just divert just a little bit back to your books. Okay. Now, for your book, That Girl series, what mostly made you write that book? Like, what made you develop the characters? Like, what was you feeling that just sparked and said, oh, I'm going to write this. Like, how did that come about?
So, with That Girl, Alicia, my main character, I kind of made her me, but like, not like what she's going through, not everything that she's going through, I haven't went through. Like, with her being betrayed by, like, her best friend, that was, like, a part of me. Because, I've been through some things, honey, with the so-called friends. So I don't really have friends. I just know a lot of people.
Yeah, your circle is small. Me too.
Yeah, it's like very, very small. Like, I can tell who I talk to. Like, it's not like every day, but like the people that I talk to the most. So, and it's always been like that since I was younger. I'll have like my one go-to person or my 2-3 go-to people, and then I just know a lot of people, so it's always been like that. But that was one thing. And then with her, she's dark-skinned, and once upon a time, I didn't like my skin color. I didn't like that I was so dark, because I always just get picked on. Everybody that has a darker skin tone, like, they have the same story. But now people are, coming into loving themselves, and I've grown to love myself, and I want to be darker. I wish, but I don't like the sun that much, so it's not going to happen. So that was one thing. And then, I think I was kind of angry when I wrote this too, because I got the way the main male character died. It was kind of tragic. So I think I was very angry when I wrote the second part. I was very angry and hurt, and it just became a story. So yeah, that's how I wrote that series.
That's what I'm talking about with that emotion. You're putting like real life, certain situations into your book. So that means a lot of your readers is going to be able to relate to it.
Yeah, I also have poetry in this book too. In the second book, And then I also have one of her best friends in the book. In the second book, it's revealed that she has a drug addiction, and like I said, it's just like it's like things that related that's in my life related to the book. Because I know somebody went that had a drug addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God they're not doing that no more. Thankfully, so yeah. But like in the book, my character died, and I was so sad because I was like, why did I do that? Oh my God! But a lot of people died in the second book. Jesus, it was real emotional.
Right. I have I have a lot of books that I have finished that are going to be published soon, within a little bit of this year and next year, of course. And my favorite book that I've written, I'm not going to really talk too much about it because, this isn't about me, boo, but I have a book that's my favorite. I'm not going to give away no titles or anything like that, but I killed off so many people. It kind of felt like, I was like, I only got 2 people left in this book now. That's how crazy and kind of graphic the book is, because I love mystery, suspense, thriller in my books, and to kill off that many characters in one book, and it's supposed to be a series, I was like, well, maybe I need to save some of them and branch it up a little bit in each book. But the other side of me was like, no, just kill them all, right? That was the other side. He was just killing all of them, because they're how I created them was they was meant to get killed off anyway. They weren't good people. I made them so my readers wouldn't care too much about them anyway, so they wouldn't have cared if they died. But if it was the good characters, they'd have been like, now why would you do that? They better be in a coma. They better be crawling for their life or something. Yeah.
No, they're gone. There's nothing you can do about it.
Nope, nothing you can do about it at all. So, will you be branching off into maybe a different genre, or are you just going to stick in the genre you are in now?
Created by Xanax.
Most likely, I will. I definitely will. Because, if I can read different genres, I know that I can write. I definitely have a poetry book coming soon. So that's going to be very interesting because those poems are very personal.
Mm-hmm.
Not too personal, but they're very personal. You're going to feel the pain and the love when you read them. How I was feeling at that very moment. So I can't wait to come out with that. I already have the title and the cover ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be released before 2019 gets here. I might tap into writing a young adult book. And the inspiration behind that is The Hate You Give. I don't know if you read that or not.
I've heard of it. I have not read it yet.
Read it before the movie comes out.
I definitely do have to read the book, because I just hate watching the movie first and then I read the book and was like, why did they do this book like that? If you're not going to do the movie right, do right by the book, then I don't want to watch the movie.
It brings me to, you named it earlier, True to the Game?
Yep, I was like, why'd they do this? Who did it?
But you know what's funny is I never read True to the Game, but I read the reviews and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And people love to talk about the current things that are going on Facebook. And they were just like, how did they make Gina to be like this? and Quadir, I think that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, Quadir was cheating on her, and Gina was a hoe. And then I'm just like, this ain't what this movie is showing.
Right. My mom was right there watching it with me. She was like, "Oh no!" She's like, "I'm never watching that again because that is not how the books went." She was like, "How dare they? Who did this? Who did it?" Because I love film, and I do want to write a book that will become a motion picture one day, or I'll do it myself. Most likely, I will probably end up doing it myself, but I would want to trust somebody to write my screenplay as my book. You know, like, still make it like my book. Don't really change up too much, but don't give away a lot of information. Yeah. You know?
They change like the most important detail. I'm just like, you can change this. Like, you gotta change. So, okay.
Right. Like, have you seen the book and the movie, of course, is called Nappily Ever After on Netflix?
I have not seen the movie yet. I'm definitely gonna watch it tonight, probably.
I watched it, and it was good, right? But after I watched it, I was like, let me go find the book, right? I had already heard of the book, and when they came out with the movie, I was like, oh, okay, right? So when I read over the reviews, people was like, oh, it was a nice book, but the grammatical errors was this, that, and the other. And I'm like, wow. But they just didn't want to make her book into a movie because of her grammatical errors, honey. Obviously, the book was really good for it to get turned into a Netflix movie or whatever. That's a great accomplishment. Like, at least give her those props before you just go in on her book. Like, come on. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about, how do I put this? Because I know everybody, I say this all the time, everybody is not going to like some author's work. How do you feel about those reviewers who, they're just so negative? Like, it's like they read the whole book. The book could be amazing, right? My little few errors here and there, but not too bad. Or the book might not have any errors at all, but they just have something so negative to say about it. How do you feel about those reviewers? Like, how did you conquer that when you first, if you ever had any reviews like that of what I'm talking about?
Well, I never really had reviews like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I do see them, I'm just like, first of all, if this book was so, like, terribly written or whatever, like, it was so many errors, first of all, why didn't you stop reading it? And if you did read it all the way, then you don't have to leave a review. Like, you really don't. But you just feel some type of way to where you gotta leave this 1-star review. And it's kind of like you, I don't know, sometimes I feel like people do it just because, like, they know, like, oh yeah, they don't see this, and then the author probably gonna post about it, and this, that, and the still. But I'm anonymous on Amazon, so they don't know it's me. I really feel like people have those moments, but then other people really do post and be like, letting them know. They'll probably give me like 3 stars. Like, this book was really good, but then, you know, the grammatical errors were throwing me off, like, or something like that. But those 1 stars, man, this book was terrible because this, and this. I'm like, oh my gosh. So if it was terrible, why did you even decide, even after the first couple of pages, to be like, I read the first chapter, and after that I couldn't read anymore because this, that, and this.
Right.
You shouldn't even really leave a review, honestly.
That is very true. So where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Just as a whole, or as an author?
As an author, yes.
myself on the New York Times bestsellers list for multiple novels, not just one. I see myself possibly, maybe having a publishing company, but I don't really know how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a possibility. And I just see myself as an author going to different events for books, and even if they're not for books, just being an inspiration for others, because it's already a lot of people that slide into my DMs and ask me questions, and I know it's a lot of people they charge to like give information away, but I just give those aspiring authors just enough. I don't give them the whole thing, because I went, like, if I want to know something, I looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I did my research, so I just give them just enough. Like, you need this, this, and this, and you do this. And if you need to find somebody, like an editor or someone that made books or something like that, like, I can give you some people, but, like, after that, like, everything that you do, you know, that's going to be you. Like, you're going to have to figure it out. I can't hold your hand.
Right.
Like, so, yeah, so that's how I just see myself being New York Times bestselling author, and just, what's the word I'm looking for? It was just my head. Ooh, I'm having a blank. What happened to that out?
Oh my God, you didn't make... Guys, we didn't both forgot the doggone word. It's fine.
A motivational
Yes,
speaker
yes, that.
for authors. There we go.
You know, I get that a lot. I get that a lot. A lot of people, they be like, well, Shy, she's so sweet. Like, if you ask her for certain information or, like, advice, she's quick on it. Like, you don't even take her that long to message you back or anything like that. She's so sweet. And I'm like, yeah, that's just the kind of person I am. But don't take advantage of that. That's kind of like what I want a lot of people to understand. Like, I'm a very nice person, but just don't take advantage of that of me as an author, you know? Because I've worked hard to get here as much as anybody else. You know, I'm a new author myself, so I just don't expect everyone to just be on my bandwagon like, oh, okay, let's just click the buy button on her book, everybody. You know, I wasn't expecting that at all. You know, I worked hard. I'm going to continue to work hard to get popular as I go. You know, that's what I want to ask you. Pop back in my head. Have you had an encounter with any fans when they're like, oh my God, you're Tyra Racquel, I love your books? Have you had anything like that happen to you?
Kind of thing. Actually, I went back to my undergrad college like 2-3 weeks ago, and I did have a couple of people like, oh my, like, you like those books? And then some others was also like, oh, you got that YouTube channel? Because I did have one where, like, I get so excited, and I'm just like, yeah, actually, like, but I was saying like that. I'm like, yeah, hey, like, I'm really calm with it, but on the inside, I'm like, yeah, that's me, oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And I love when that happens, because I try to stay very humble. And it's like my friends always point that out, like, Tyra, like, you need to toot your own horn. Just like, look, I sometimes feel like I'm not on that level. And then I think about it, I'm just like, what level am I trying to be on?
Right.
What level am I trying to be on to feel like I can just be like, yeah, I'm a published author and I got this many books, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm gonna come out of that shell soon. Maybe not. We're gonna see.
Right. That's how I felt too. At first I was like, well, being an author is gonna come with you know, the book signings and going to the book fairs and everything. But what about the side where you actually do get really popular? And, you know, people in your hometown like, oh my God, you're such and such. Like, do you have a book that you can sign for me or anything like that? You know? Like, how can you brace yourself for that? Me, it sprung up on me. I was at the store and the girl was like, oh my God, you're such and such. And I was kind of like, I was so red in the face. I looked like a tomato. I wanted to run out the front door, forget that I was buying me a whole bunch of clothes. I was just like, I want to be like Speedy Gonzalez, I'm out of here. That's how I felt. But then again, I was like, well, let me sign my name on something for her. Because this is a little milestone for me. You know? That's how I felt about it. Now, has it happened again? No. Do I want it to happen again? No, because I'm not prepared for that. I don't got no books. I don't have no bookmarks. I don't have nothing where I could just be like, well, you know, there you go, right? To advertise myself. I don't have none of that. I have my stuff designed. I just haven't gotten it printed out yet, which my lazy behind needs to do very soon. So I'm doing that at the end of the week. So I'll have my bookmarks and my business cards and little things like that. I'll have that in stock just in case. I was supposed to been had it, but when you're as busy as me, which you're probably very busier than me, yeah.
I printed out, I have some business cards. I think I printed out, I had 200 of them printed out.
Mm-hmm.
And I sometimes remember to hand them out. Because I'm just like, are these people like really keeping my cards? Or are they throwing them on the ground or something? I just feel some type of way. My business cards are so pretty. And if you don't want it, then don't take it.
Right, like I worked hard on these. I drew my logo. I actually really created this, like from the title of my logo to everything, every detail on that. Like, come on now, just be like, oh no, thank you. Just do that. Don't just look at my business card. Okay, I'll keep it, and you just flick it in the garbage like you just said. Like, that's rude.
Right.
That's just so rude. Like, I am a business owner. Okay, I created my business on my own. Nobody handed anything to me. I did this on my own. At least give me that much respect to at least tuck it in your wallet and maybe pull it out maybe a week later. Be like, oh, okay, let me go search this up. Oh, don't just throw it away, people. Yeah, that's all the people that do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is what I was gonna say. How many books do you plan on publishing for the rest of this year? Not continue on, not in 2019. I'm talking about the remainder of this year. How many do you think you might pull off to publish?
3 or 4.
3 or 4. That's my goal too. 3 or 4 is my goal. Maybe 5. That's my goal.
Ooh, I'm like, ooh, you said 5. Ooh.
But like I said earlier, I have books that are already finished. So basically, all I have to do is just go reread over it, edit it, and just send it off to the editor and my publisher, talk about the title or whatever, and then boom, that's done. But I kind of don't want to put out just book after book after book. All I want to do is just publish my 2 short stories in October, and then December put out another novel, an actual novel to a series, and have that way. And then January, being my birthday month, come out with a banger, and then there we go. Start all over. But my goal really is 5 books. I still may stick to that.
I'm still trying to figure out. I know, like I said earlier, that I'm going to re-release my last book that was given back to me, but it's just going to be the story's going to be changed a little bit, so I'm definitely going to release that next month. I don't really know if I'm going to release something else in October, but I know November is my birth month. Scorpio, stand up.
Okay.
And it would mean if I didn't put out something, I'm going to be releasing Nasty Girls Do It Better Too. So, because people just love to say that Scorpios are freaks.
That's true.
It might be true, but I'm not going to say that it is. But I'm definitely going to be releasing Nasty Girls Do It Better Too, and I can't wait because Nasty Girls Do It Better Too is not like, a lot of people thought it was one full book, but it's short stories within the book, and I have all my titles already for my little short stories, so I cannot wait. And people might be looking at me sideways, but it's okay. Because there's a lot of people that have asked me. I had this story called Barbershop. And a lot of people have asked me, so, was that story about you in Barbershop? I'm like, no, definitely not. And even if it was, you still wouldn't know. But, it's actually like some of the stories are actually from some people that I know because they let me use their stories. I was just like, tell me like the basics. Don't go into detail. I don't want to. I can't come up with that, but just give me the basics. So some stories are just made up from my imagination, and then some stories are actual stories.
Right.
So it'll be interesting. And then in December will be the release of my poetry book, and then I might write a Christmas book because I love Christmas, so that might be something.
Oh,
yeah, that's my way out.
That's nice. You have a good plan going on right there. It's a very good plan. Now for your short story series, well, for your series overall, do you like to write series that have the consistent same characters, or do you like to write a series that tells a story on different characters? Like, say book 1 is about, I can't think of no more funny names, so excuse me, people. Book 1 is about one character, then the next book is about a different character, but it all connects. Which will be your choice?
I actually have that idea in my head to actually do that, but I do like things that like have the same characters like throughout the whole series. But I also like one book is about Cynthia, and then the second book is about Angie, and then the third book, Cynthia and Angie, their stories are gonna connect some type of way, and then that's gonna be the ending.
Right.
I like that too, as long as it makes sense. It can't just be no off the wall thing, and we're gonna connect it by this little no. It has to really connect. It has to really make sense.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like series like that. Like, there's an author, Mary B. Morrison. She has it's a series, but I kind of call it like a collection, right? And I was obsessed with the series. I can't think now. That's the thing. I can't think of each book title, but every story was so kind of like impactful. Like, you had the main character she used was kind of slightly in each book. Like, he made an appearance. Next book, the story was like really based on just him and the women. Then like the next book was like based on one of the women. I was like, that kind of inspired me to, write a series like that. Because I was like, that's interesting to have a series like that. You break it up like that. And then like at the end of the series, it all ties together.
I'm like, yeah, please. I need to read some of your stuff. Like, I do. I'm definitely going to read some of your stuff. But whenever you write something like that, let me know. Because I just will get it and read it.
Now, if nobody can see my facial expression right now, but I got the little sneaky look on my face like, yeah, I have something coming like that pretty soon. It's a collection of short stories and working really hard on that. Now, my question is, do you plan on collabing with any authors? Have you done that before? What do you say about that?
That would be something very interesting to do. I would just be surprised if somebody would want to collab with me. That would be something big. And I don't know. I never thought about collabing with another author, actually. Because you know how the book industry is these days.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, there we go. Now that's the question of the night. How do you, as an author, feel about the urban writing industry? How do you feel about it? Yeah.
Great question. So, the way that I feel is that, I don't know, it's kind of different. Like, okay, say with the title, it is a lot of recycling, I guess. Like, people will do like, and I'm not like knocking nobody's titles, but this is just a title that popped in my head randomly because I don't know who the author is, if there is a title like this. But in love with the gangster, and then they'll put in love with the drug lord, in love with the thug, in love with, and I'm just like, damn. Like, okay. And then you'll see that without like different titles. It's nothing really, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but I can tell, like, if somebody was to use a title like that, okay, so this girl is going to be in love with somebody, and then I know the thing these days is about the rude boy. So I've been seeing that a lot, but the urban fiction is very, I don't want to say copycat-ish, because a lot of people, they have unique stories, different stories, but it's a little copycat-ish, a little bit. The drama is very interesting.
Yeah.
I stay out of that because I don't see the point of that. Like, we're growing up, and a lot of people that are probably listening that know me, they know how I can be, and I'm working on that, and I just don't feel the need. Like, we're all supposed to be professionals. So with me cussing you out on Facebook, and then my supporters or whatever you want to call them coming for you, that's just like, that's crazy, because I know it was an incident when people were coming for this one person, and it was to the point where they were about to hurt themselves, or they hurt themselves because they were being attacked by all these people. And it's just like, whoever started it, they didn't even do nothing to stop it. And that's just taking it too far. Like, if people just really supported each other, I'm talking about, it don't matter what publishing company you're from, you can share a link. Like, it's nothing to share a link. You don't have to mouth nobody, make the little slick statuses, because I see them all the time, and I'm just like, people look up to you in all of this, but you're being a little childish. Because I also noticed that a lot of these authors, they're older. Like, they're in their 30s, 40s, older. But the way they act is like they're in their 20s. you know, and I'm just so surprised. I'm like, oh, you my mama age. Like, and this is how you're acting, and you're a so-called professional, and this is how you're acting. So that's what, like, I really don't like that about the industry. It makes a lot of people not like writing anymore. But if you delete those people from your page and stuff like that, and you continue to be positive, you'll be fine.
Right. Like you said, I am not into that drama at all. I can't stand that drama side of the urban industry. Like, can we all just share each other's links? Let's all make this money and just let that be that. Like, it has to always be a competition. That's how I feel about it. That's why I keep to myself. When I post something, I'm either sharing I'm always sharing somebody's book, promoting somebody's book, all that type of stuff. I'm always doing that because I'm not in competition with anybody, period. I'm just not that type. I'm just here to write my books, and that's it. And just grow as an author, grow as a business owner, grow as a reader, and just go on about that. That's how I feel about it.
And people, like, it really, if you're positive and you let that positivity show and you give out that positive energy, you will flourish. I promise you will flourish.
Exactly.
So people understand that, and I don't know, because if you get the email every single month, when the KDP reports come out and stuff like that, and you see how much Amazon has made that month, like $12.2 million. It's enough money.
For everybody, right. Right.
Everybody. But it's a lot of readers now because people, they love to ask this question about reading new authors and stuff like that. And a lot of readers are like, well, I don't like reading new authors because this isn't this. But I know when my favorite authors drop a book, I'm going to read them. And I don't want to give a new author a chance because, and I'm just like, hold up. Your favorite author, once upon a time, was a new author.
Right.
So, what you're saying right now, it's not really making sense to me, but if it makes sense, then, like, cool. Like, you don't have to, I don't want to force people to read my books. Like, you're either going to read it or you're not. Like, you're either going to love it or you're not. And people really, like, their feelings really do be hurt. But I don't know what, like, I don't know what it is. I know I've also seen, and I've talked to my best friend about this, about how authors, some authors that ask questions, and they'll be like, so, how would you want me to do this in my next book, and this, and this? And I'm just like, I'm not about to have the readers tell me what to write.
Mm-hmm.
It's my vision, not theirs.
Right. That's why I started off with Wattpad, so I can, just learn how some readers operate and some authors operate and just things like that, That's why I started off on that, so, I could be prepared for when I get published and publish my first book. So I won't be that person that's, oh my God, they should like my books. You know what I mean? I made sure that I was prepared for this industry. And, I knew what I was getting into. So, I wish some other authors would, try that instead of, just diving into finding a publisher. And it's not the way they thought it was going to pan out. And now they're stuck in a contract, or now they're fired, and now they're just like, well, my books aren't good enough, so I'm not going to write anymore. You know what I mean? That's what I wish they would just, read up on some articles, find some authors that are nice enough to, get some information from, things like that. When you look into a publisher, like, look them up, make sure they're, like, legit, and how many authors do they have? Are these publishers really caring of your work? You know, things like that is what new coming authors should really look into. So they won't get caught up in anything and now they're so sad and so heartbroken that they don't even want to write anymore. That's what I feel all new authors should do before they get published or publish their own book.
And I never got to the point where I just like cried about anything about my book. Like, I never got to that point because I never let myself get to that point. I don't know.
Right.
Another thing is about the name. People get mad about the usage of names, character names. And I'm just like, I mean, it's only so many names in the world. And some of them are, I don't want to say ghetto, but they're ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, they try to be different, but like, sometimes, if I want to name my characters Sin and Soul in somebody else's character's name, or Sin and Soul, it's not going to be the same Sin and Soul. Like,
right.
I'm not like, oh, let me read this author book. Her character names are the ones I want. Oh, they act like this. Oh, let me write it. No, it's never going to be like that. So I think with the name, people need to calm down about that. Names are going to be used. Like, I know King has been worn out to the ground.
Yeah, that's true, but if you read the books with that person's name, they're totally different. They can be a different race. They can even be a creature, for Christ's sake. They can even be an actual king in their book, in their pure world. Like, you never know. It's different. You know, and another thing that some people get so upset about is, like, character visuals or, like, photos on the book covers. You know, they copied. Like, I get there's a difference between, you know, they really wanted that picture and it turned out that way, and there's a difference between they looked at your cover and they copied it down from the girl's pink toe color to her gray weave, and the man got tattoos and got the same tattoos, and then it's just a different title. Now that's very much different. Now that's copying. That's something that I just can't stand. And as a graphic designer, you know, I've always been the person that's been out of the box when I create. You know, so when some authors come to me, they might be like, oh, I seen this cover and I want you to recreate it. Now that's different. Recreating, that's very different. Like, you don't want me to use the same people. You just want me to give it like that little vibe to it. Okay, that's different. Now, when a author comes to me, like, this has never happened at all. But if an author comes to me like, I want you to make me this cover just like this, I'm like, huh? You want me to what? Oh, block. I'm not finna do it. You ain't finna give me in no drama, no tea, no nothing. I'm not finna end up on that new Instagram. Yes, the new Instagram with the author tea. No, it's not happening. Not happening at all.
Page right there.
Right.
It's like somebody really made a page. Okay.
Right, because they was probably sick of it. It was like, you know what? I'm gonna just make a page and just post all this. I mean, that's giving you the bad, kind of like the bad side of the urban industry right there. But some of the posts that authors make is true. It's facts that they're saying. Like, I'm not going to post my synopsis anymore, or my titles before my book comes out, or even like sneak peek chapters because somebody copied off of a chapter I posted in a group or my group or anything like that. That's sad. That's messed up.
It really is.
That you put your whole heart and soul into that and somebody copies it. And Booty just said, she said, you are so bad, Shy. I mean, listen, I'm just telling the truth, people. Like, these things happen. Like, you gotta let's just say you just be aware of it. Like, if you're not aware of it, it can end up happening to you and you might not even know it. You know, because you're like, oh, ain't nobody gonna steal my stuff. I'm original. And then boom, it happens. And then now you're stuck, or you're pissed and you're mad and you want to go off and you want to explode on social media like, they stole my book and they did this and that. I mean, there's a way to professionally handle that. But when you're in that situation, you don't know. You just want to put that person out there so they can't do it to anybody else. You know, that's why a lot of authors, they stop really writing their stories on Wattpad, because you got people who are not even authors and publish on Amazon, or may be that, and they're stealing people's stories. Like, do you know that Wattpad actually copyrights your story for you? So legally, you can sue. I'm telling you the truth, honest God truth, because it didn't happen to me. You can sue. Really, you can sue anybody that steals your work off of Wattpad, because Legally Bound is copyrighted. Like, you literally, we know this, when we publish our stories on Wattpad, we can pick the choice of copyright. I think it's like the sharing right for somebody to actually, if you wanted somebody to use your story because, you know, you don't care about it, they can. Like, they have all those type of rights. Like, come on, people. Read over this stuff. That's what I'm talking about, your research. That's what I did. I was like, should I post my story on here? And then I, like, looked into it more, and I was like, okay, they actually are copywriting your stuff. It's just free for you, you know? And when they started changing Wattpad to giving them authors, like, the paid, like, paying them, you know, paying them, like, through ads and everything, that was like a beta program, and they only picked a few people. Now, do you know how many authors it actually is on Wattpad, and you're only paying a few? That's not fair. That's why it isn't, and that's why a lot of authors left and got published, as they should be. They should be getting paid for their work, since they love doing what they do, and they're not just writing a book just to make money. That's why they was on Wattpad. Duh. You know, they're writing because they love it, but now they're getting to the point where they should get paid for their work, as of you and as of I and as of everybody else. We work so hard that now we should be getting paid, or should have getting paid for our work, but we wasn't really caring about that, you know? We were just caring about writing books and just getting better at it.
And some people probably doing this like, oh, what? I can get sued? Like, yes, sis. You don't put that story from Wattpad, and it's that author finds this story, and they're just like, oh, this is my work. You can get sued. So they probably like, let's take my book down.
Right, but these people, even if you take the book down, it's still like you feel like you was violated. Like, you put all your work into this, and then for somebody to come and just read over your work and copy every word, and then have nerve to copy. It's like you're copying homework at school. And you copy all their answers, and then it's wrong. And now you get an F because they got an F because they gave you the wrong answers. You see what happened there? The repercussions of doing that? Like, come on now. You know you copied some author's book, and you think it's gonna be sweet. You're just gonna just get away with it and then, like, publish this as your work. No, because it's gonna be somebody who's a true fan who done read the book, and then they're gonna report it back to you like, I seen this, I thought you should know. You don't think that's gonna happen? You don't think they have family or anything like that? That's why when I do this, I always ask, like, has that ever happened to you? Because a lot of authors, people, my words are getting mixed up. A lot of authors should speak up on it, you know? Because it's sad, but new authors, some of them don't know about plagiarism and things like that. Believe me, I didn't ask new authors, like, what kind of copyright did you put on your work? And they'd be like, oh, I put it on the share one because that's my copyright, so nobody can steal. I'm like, huh? You just said you put it on the share copyright, so that means they can use it. Well, I'm like, wait, no. You probably got confused. Like, hurry up, go in your settings and change that, because that's when they can really just hold down on the iPhone, Samsung, and copy, or highlight it on the computer and copy and paste. Like, I tried that, like, on my own book. Not on anybody else's. Hold on. I did that on my own book to see, like, what they meant by the copyrights. I was like, oh, they really bullshitting right now. I said, oh, nope, the solid copyright. Because I was like, I've never heard of these other copyrights. And when I looked into it, I was like, wow. Oh, no, this is not what we about to do today. Right. So, my last question is, what do you love the most about being an author, a writer, writing poetry? What do you love about it the most?
I just really love sharing my imagination. Because like I said, when I read, I visualize. It's like I could be the main, character, and I can see it in my head. And I just love that feeling, because it's like, I'm taking a break from reality for a quick second, and then I'm back. Because, people, they like those romantic love stories, like the urban romance and stuff. I love. People love those books. Because, like, I believe in love. I love love. I love seeing love. So, when I read one of those books and I can actually feel like I'm that main character, I'm like, damn, I gotta go through some stuff. But at the end, I know that I'm gonna be with the one that I'm supposed to be. I'm like, yes, honey, this author wrote this book. So, when I'm reading my book, I'm just like, why am I taking myself through this? But I know at the end, I will come out on top. That's like my favorite part. Writing the story out, visualizing, and actually feeling like I'm that character. And hoping I don't die.
So that's how I be feeling too. And this was like I say, this was a very fun interview. This was very vibeful, very peaceful, all that good energy. And is there any... Well, first of all, where can all the new readers that you will be getting soon, where can they get your books?
You can get my book on Amazon. Just type in Tyra Racquel, Tyra, Racquel, and I will be up there. You can Google me too. I will pop up because I checked. So yes, all of my books are definitely on there.
And is there any shout outs you would like to give?
I would just like to shout out my wonderful, lovely twin sister. She has her own publishing company, and she just signed to another publishing company too. So she has her own company, and she's under this a company. Her name is Ravon. Shout out to her, and shout out to my best friend Patricia, and shout out to all the authors. Like, keep writing and keep being creative.
That is very true. And on that note, I love you. She loves you. We all love you. And have a nice night. Good night.